I think a lot of people go straight from 0 to 60, straight from nothing to color, and most of the the beginner issues that I see are all value based. And the video I did for Wacom, I was showing a demonstration between, okay, I did a glass of beer and I showed it. Here's the grayscale. So here is value without color. Still reads as a glass of beer, and you get everything you need. Obviously, adding the colors a lot more depth and mood and things like that. But showing the same glass of beer, color without value. First of all, it doesn't exist. It's just blank. So what I had to do was I toned the canvas down and I gave it just a little bit of gray. And then I put the color on its own layer as like an overlay. So all you saw was just like really bright color and stuff, but there's no structure because you don't have those values. So without value, you don't have anything. You can have value without color and still read, but you can't have color without value. So even though a lot of artists just starting off want to go straight to color and like all this crazy color detailed stuff, it's so important. That's why they teach it this way, in fine art schools. When I took graphic design 1, which was an entire quarter or semester course, was all grayscale because you need that. And then only after you really get like a certain level of mastery of grayscale and value, then you start to worry about color. And that's like a whole other beast in and of itself.
Yeah, okay, well, as far as talking points, why don't you like kind of talk a little bit about how you went through to get that mastery of being able to see those colors? Because like when I started out doing digital art, I was definitely a color drop painter, like without question. And then like over the years, I've kind of worked on it to where like now I don't use it. And like I still get tempted to use it, and it's so hard not to use it because it's so easy.
Right.
But it's like you have to like what did you go through to train your eye to see the colors and your understanding of color? Because it seems like you really kind of get it. Because I watched that video you did for Wacom with the glass of beer.
Thanks, man. I'm blushing.
Yeah. You really kind of understand it. Because that's what I thought when I watched it. I was like, that dude gets it. Like, he knows his color stuff.
First thing right out of the gate, James Gurney. If you've never heard of him, incredibly talented guy. He's the author and the illustrator behind the Dinotopia books. And he also wrote this book. Yeah. Yep. That's the hand. I'm going to pull it up. Yep. Hold that up for a second. We're giving him a shout. Maybe we can get him to come on one of these. Color and Light, which is an incredible book on color and light and shadow theory, but in a way that isn't dry, because it gives practical application. So when I teach, I do the same thing. I've had a bunch of color theory classes. It's like, okay, here's a color wheel, right? Here are complementary colors. Here are the primary colors. Now go be Da Vinci. So what I try and do, which is very much following, what I've gotten from James Gurney, and he's gotten his stuff that he put in this book from other masters, but it's kind of condensed to like the most salient or like the most important bits. So instead of just giving you diagrams and color wheels, it's okay. These are the fundamentals that are going to apply under this lighting scheme, or in general. I think that Gurney's book is awesome, but what helps me, and something I didn't know until very recently. Apparently, like 1 in every 16 men has some brand of color deficiency in their ability to see color, which I saw that and it blew my friggin' mind. And it's not like regular, like total color blindness or like blue-green, but like some semblance of color ineptitude or something like that. Whereas with women, it's like 1 in every 250 or something like that. That blew my mind. So it's entirely possible that some people are just not wired to see it that way. But I don't want to say that as an oversimplification. Even for me, I might be able to see colors better than some, but it's an active process of training. Yeah. So this is what I wanted to pull up. Yeah, I made more progress on this one since I posted this, but this is basically less than a year is the difference. So yeah, I might be able to see colors in a certain way, but at the same time, it's an active process of training your eye to see colors.
Yeah.
Is there anything you specifically did to improve your ability to see color?
Yeah, a lot of checking back and forth. There have been times where I have used the color picker. For example, what I'll do is I won't sample the color and then paint with it, but let's say I've got, I'm painting and I'm like, oh, I really don't understand what that is. I'll take this and I'll look at it this way, and they'll be like, oh, this is in this hue family. This is in this value. Now, I won't go back and paint with that. Like, I will actually make sure I cancel out and then do it myself.
I think too, a lot of it's like having a revelation, just being aware of value and even understanding that it's even something you should apply to your work.
Right.
Well, having a value scale helps a lot too. There's the kind you can get for painting where it's just a bunch of squares, and just breaking everything down into like a 9-step value scale helps you kind of just go, okay, is that really, really dark, or in the middle, or is it in between gray and white? And then you can just, if you're dealing with it in increments, it's a little easier than like trying to imagine the whole range of gray values. So while I'm working on a piece, and this is something I started to do within like the last year or so, because I too kind of had to pay more attention to value, I'll add a layer, and in Photoshop you could just add an effect, like basically a live effect here for black and white, or you could desaturate it. Just look at your piece towards the end while you're working on it and go, okay, does everything seem balanced? Like, does the stuff in the distance appear darker than what's in the foreground, or lighter? And really just have a good awareness of all of the levels of value in your piece. And if you do need to make adjustments, if you're assuming you're working with a lot of layers, or I guess you could just add layers if you need to lighten or darken things, bring everything together in black and white, and then turn off that black and white filter